Hey guys, this is the ScreenBlast podcast. Once again here, I'm joined alongside the man, the myth, the legend, K9 Biscuits. And of course you can find me at Bryan the Baltimorean.
Your father didn't believe in revenge.
Hell, I do.
The immersion level that you get in this movie, like, you feel completely on Arrakis for every moment of this movie. You feel...
especially since we saw it in a gimmicky showing, we saw it in 4DX.
Yes,
with the moving seats.
Which I do like it, but as I said, leaving, like, until they clean out their fucking, like, piping, like, some of that shit was coming down. I was like, it's a little dusty. It's getting a little, I don't know, I need to clean this shit out.
This toilet water?
Yeah. It's like, I don't know if I like necessarily the quality, but I do like the idea of 4DX. And so
the only gimmick I didn't need is, like, when there was a scene where it started raining, so they just put little drops.
No, they just poured buckets on our fucking heads. Like, what kind of bullshit is this? My phone got fucking damaged. I can't believe this. But
every scene where somebody got kicked in the nuts, there's this dude, the fucking staff just come to the seats and like, ugh!
It's just an employee with with one of those broom handles, and it's like he's like, I'm sorry, like full force, and like for some people in the back, it's delayed because he has to get up there, right? So
it's like extra long, like
it's like 5 because he's walking every single aisle, so it's like it takes him like 5 minutes to get up to the top. So it's like 5 minutes after the last nut punch, and he's like finally getting to him. Like you hear the delayed screams of pain, but yeah, man, I think
like you hear the screams of pain coming like a thriller movie. Like, I gotta get out of here. It's like starts chasing after you.
They hold him down.
Wait, I have to punch your nuts.
They hold us down. Yeah.
It's part of the experience. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you paid the money for the ticket. You're getting this experience. You're getting in here.
You signed the agreement clause.
All right. Let's get off. Nut taps. So
the whole podcast.
So yeah, like I watched the first Dune. Right before we ended up going, I watched it earlier that day.
Yeah, you haven't seen the first one.
Because I had not seen the first
one.
I'd missed when it was, because that was obviously during, that was last 2 years ago. And it seemed like a movie that was definitely my type of movie, but I just never went to see it. And I will say, like, again, the first movie, people say it's slow, but it's not that it's slow. It's just building it. It's setting all the pieces up. And I again, these are actors that are fantastic. John Bautista does great. John Bautista does great in this movie, and the second movie and the first movie. Obviously, you have Oscar Isaac, who is the father, who does a fantastic job, and is given way more opportunity and range than in Star Wars. I mean, fucking Christ.
The acting director they have here is he's golden.
Yeah, Denis Villeneuve, I believe, is his name.
The acting director on it.
The acting director, no, the director himself.
That too.
Yeah.
Don't they have acting directors that are different from the directors?
I mean, like, the director sets the whole thing.
Okay, him.
He's the one that wants he gets to the emotional guy. Like, he's like, hey, I want you to play like this. Or, like, that's usually the director. Like,
the director.
He directs the movie, so he directs the actors. Look, there's so much to talk about. There's, like, the insane mother shit. This bitch is going crazy.
I mean, I've seen a lot of cool shit. I can't remember the plot because, like, this MacGuffin activated this MacGuffin, and they have to go talk to the politics, and they need to take over the politics to defeat the politics. They ride some worms. Yeah. They be worm riding. They be riding them fucking worms like shit. More Alaskan bullworms.
Yes, all right, you're rushing through this. So you partially remember, but, like, do you remember how awesome that scene was? That he was, like, trying to get on it, and it's like, it's such a proud moment that he can actually...
Oh, yeah, because my seat would not let me forget it. It was, like, all shaking and shit. Yes. That was awesome.
Yes. I mean, before, though, when it's like, you need to ride the worm, and it's like, it's got to be, and it turns out to be bigger than ever, and it's like, oh, Jesus Christ, like, all right, and he still does it, and it's impressive. I will say again,
it was big, hairy, and pink! Like, don't do it, Sandy!
Again, I would love to just, like, when they wrote the dialogue for that, they had to have so much fun. When they were writing the dialogue, it's big, hairy, and pink.
I know, right?
Yeah. But no, I think, what's his name? The guy that played Elvis last year, he's the guy that was younger, but he was bald. Obviously, he's a part of the enemy side. And he was the one that was in the gladiator pit fighting. If you remember that.
Yes.
Yeah. He is fucking awesome in this movie.
He's fucking badass.
It's like
he's a threat.
He's a real threat. And this is the type of threat that I needed in Kung Fu Panda 4, which we just finished. That's what doesn't help, by the way. It's like my brain's still kind of in the Kung Fu Panda state.
Just keep thinking about Doom. Just keep thinking about Doom.
But this is the type of villain that I wanted in that, where it's like he's a true, like, he's rising, he's getting more powerful, he's got significant skill. He's like thought of very well in that area, in where he comes from. I love, again, the clear, concise politics of it all. Like, when the mother is, like, trying to rise the fictionalized story to the point where it becomes prophecy and shit. And it's like, and that's crazy. But also you have, like, the dialogue with, I think it's, like, the true, like, the ruler or the king or the people in the background. And they're like, we can sway him. He has weakness sexually or something like that. And then,
we can fix him.
And it's, but it's like, that's how politics is, though. Like, truly. Like, there are women that are literally there to just go and mess up the structure that a good guy, not good guy, but an influential person that has a lot of potential, they're there to literally collapse that. And that does happen in real life. That happens very much in a lot of political systems. Or in any sort of business sense, where it's like, oh, like, this person is very significant, but how can we break him is a question that's always asked. And so, like, I love the way that, like, they just say that outright, because I think for a lot of people that is something that is absolutely true, and that's something that you need to hear, because that is a genuine thing that happens in a lot of places. So, you know,
you say you weren't ready for a Dune review.
Again,
you got more to say than me.
Well, that's just one fragment, and there's so much about this movie. Like, I'm slowly kind of, like, recalling piece by piece. I
this is a great movie. I'm just not gonna explaining this, like, super high concept of sci-fi shit.
It's not too high concept. Like, I don't think it's that high concept at all. It's like the dialogue kind of explains everything that you need to know, and it's.
I'm not saying that's a thing against it, though. I'm not saying, like, that's a thing against it.
No, I'm not. No, I'm saying, but that's not it's not like high concept. Like, it's like a grade above Star Wars, but it's not like it's not like it's 75 degrees up a mountain above Star Wars. It's like, this just takes itself more seriously and is more grounded than Star Wars.
Okay.
It's not high concept. It's like, this is still, like, you know, you've got, because if you're putting, look, if you consider Star Wars, I would still consider this is science fiction, but it's like, it's, you know, like, because, like, there's some science fiction, like Interstellar, I think, is high concept, where they literally use the true structural scientific definition of a black hole and the true scientific impacts of what a black hole does. Like, that's, to me, like, high concept science fiction.
I say Tenet is high concept.
Yes, because the movie itself is around the science fiction is bad, but maybe it's like high physics instead of science fiction.
It has a cool has a one cool scene, though.
Yeah, it has the one cool scene. I do love that. I love the confidence. We talked about this. You talked about this, I think, when we were on the train back, and it was like, you didn't believe our main character. The switch was so quick. That was probably the only issue. Was that you that said that? When, like,
that was not me.
Okay, like the switch. Okay, I think it was Jeremy Johns, I think, or someone else. Where it was like the switch was so quick for him to become, like, the leader. Like, when he's in that cave and it's, like, quiet, like, it's like hundreds of people surrounding him. Hundreds of these people surrounding him, and then he walks up and he's like, I am the prophecy of the... And, like, then they believe him. And it's like, that's pretty quick. I guess that's like...
It didn't feel too... Like,
it felt right to me.
I felt like there was enough build-up to it. Yeah. And, like, he was, like... He has adrenaline from the moment, so, like, he was already changing within that moment, because that was like a big fight and like there was so much going around him going on,
Yeah.
and he was growing. Like he was like riding the big worm, and they're like.
That's a great sentence. He was riding
penis
the big
joke.
worm.
But he was riding the Alaskan bullworm, and like he was like doing all this achievements and shit, and like defeating the bad guy. He was growing as a character, and he was like on an adrenaline high. So it was like, okay, yeah, it felt like it didn't feel too like out of the way that he was changing to like be like a political figure.
No.
A demanding political. I don't know. I'm not sure what the word I'm looking for. A dictator.
You know what else was happening? It was the blue juice. That's the other thing that was crazy. So the blue juice,
the Mountain Dew Baja Blast.
So the blue juice, like, because here's the thing, like, the blue juice turns him into like Eren Yeager season 4 Attack on Titan. Like he turns into like the super like once he drinks the blue juice, that's when like
fucking Gatorade.
He turns into like.
No, it's a fucking Powerade.
Yeah, but like the blue juice is like that's like when he changes into like, when he's done with like Zendaya, it looks like, and he's like totally like out of the whole like I'm good, I am myself now. Like, I'm taking on my true potential. Like I will say, like, does it cloud him a little bit? Because like, what's her name? Like what's weird? Okay, so the whole thing with the mom and the baby, I understand like that. There's some probably real. You know what? Maybe it is. You're right. Maybe it is high concept science fiction because that was some high concept bullshit. There's some high concept bullshit going on where like the baby's talking. Don't you say that? Don't you believe that?
Hey! Shut the fuck up!
Yeah. I'm like what the fuck is that? Every time they cut back to this,
the baby knew he was gonna do that. I knew it.
Yeah.
The baby says it.
The baby says it. It's.
The baby. That's not the baby. It's just like the baby should like the face should have formed inside the stomach. Like, hey, shut up.
And then
that's not the prophecy says.
Yeah, like every time she talks to her son, and she's like, "Yeah, your sister says this or that." I'm like, just could you just say you said it? Jesus Christ! But
the baby should have been like comic relief. It should have been like adding commentary. Like, what the fuck is he wearing?
Also,
is he wearing a giant worm or some shit? What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm also very terrified. She didn't give birth in this movie, right?
No.
Yeah, I'm very terrified what the fuck comes out of that thing. Because, like, outside of her womb. Because, like,
gremlin.
Apparently it's like they shouldn't have given her the blue juice because they're, like, all, like, she's pregnant. We shouldn't have given her the blue juice. And it's like, well.
Shouldn't have given her the Gatorade.
Now the baby has super blue juice powers. And I don't know what that means, but it's not good.
Don't drink the blue Kool-Aid.